Let's go, Ding. I wouldn't want to be any other place than right here with you every Wednesday night, 6 o'clock in the West, 9 o'clock in the East. Get in smack down, smack talk, whatever you want to call it. We've got an incredible lineup of guests here tonight. Maybe there's a little wrestling flair coming into it. Maybe there's some guys that are working hard, guys that are being comical, funny online and on social. I mean, it's the time. I know WrestleMania just finished up in Las Vegas, but it's nice to see the guys at Power Slap bringing out their personality. I know you're helping them along the way. If you guys haven't been following us over on Instagram at slap_news, you should be doing so. We're running all kinds of great content there, original content, some fun, some games. This is Power Slap _blank. Brought some excitement to the socials, some fun. I know some guys had some fun in the DMs and some guys had some fun publicly about everything that goes there, Ding. I got to say, man, that definitely was a masterpiece of yours. Appreciate you putting in that hard work, entertaining the masses of doing so. Let's get into it, Ding. How have you been? And what's exciting you this week in the world of Power Slap?
Yeah, you know what? Like you mentioned, man, we've been playing some, I'll call them games. We've been playing some social games. And what's exciting me is really the creativity that we've gotten, right? I expected people to kind of say things like, whoever I am, I'm the greatest, right? Like I thought that was cliche. But there's some ones out there that are funny. I encourage Nate Bernard to kind of take the cover off and without going too far, like be a little edgy and he started firing away, and those were really entertaining. People engaging, those who didn't want to actually make their own, they decided to just interact with the ones that existed. We got a couple DMs like, oh, this is the best one or that's the best one. Obviously, I was putting out polls to kind of figure out what people thought about each different one. And then today, the one man versus, or excuse me, the 100 men, or in our case, 100 people versus the big one gorilla. That's been something that's been making its rounds, right? UFC, they're being asked about it. This is all over social. They talk about fighters. So we did two different things, right? One was you got 5 strikers, who you picking? And then the second part of it was AI seems to think Power Slap strikers ain't got it, man. They seem to think 100 Power Slap strikers ain't got it. So forget 5.
Interesting. Yeah, I know you're holding it down as always. We appreciate all the hard work that you're doing. And like guys, Ding is the one that holds it down every single week for us, making sure we get you that content. And I know Ding works incredibly hard, passionate around the clock to be able to bring you guys, breaking news as it happens. We definitely pride ourselves on being, on the up and up for everything in news related as it relates to Power Slap. If you're not doing so over on Instagram, we do have our Instagram channel. You can subscribe to that. You'll get the information first. When we're putting out new interviews, we also give, the insider group that we have there, first look at the interviews, and you get to know information faster than everybody else. So that is on the main page of Instagram. Let's get into our first guest, Ding, Mr. One, Brice Jones. Just for everybody, before we pull him up, the last couple of weeks, if you haven't been watching, Smack Talk, the heavyweights have come on here. The heavyweights have exchanged some words. A guy that seems to be forgotten, with the brass of Power Slap, according to him, the guy that's feeling a little bit disrespected by some of the other heavyweights. We're going to bring him in. We're going to talk it. We're going to chop it up. Mr. One, Brice Jones. How you doing, Brice?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good.
Awesome. I got to say, man, I did like the, it's Power Slap 152. They slept on me, and I'm still waiting for a fight. If you haven't done it, head over there, Brice Jones, dropping some comical Instagram posts. Where was your inspiration to that, my man, and what led to it?
I was just kind of bored, and I was just sending videos back and forth with one of my friends, and I just was like, I think this would be funny. So it's a lot of, I get messages all the time like, are you on the next one? Are you on the next one? Are you on the next one? So it was just kind of a comic relief kind of deal. I was just like, I think this would be hilarious. So
I mean, bringing out a personality definitely doesn't hurt in regards to Power Slap, because obviously it is sport, but it is also entertainment. We've talked about it before, kind of being in the middle of MMA and pro wrestling, somewhere kind of wedged in the middle, and bringing out that personality definitely helps. I'm not going to ask you the cliche questions, but, as it relates to how you got a call, when you're going to be on, like you said, your friends are telling you that all the time, but what are you doing every day? What does that work ethic look like? And what are you doing so when you get that opportunity that they can't deny you another opportunity in Power Slap?
Yeah, I mean, every day, and I'm going to the gym. I'm getting in better and better shape. So, I mean, all this time of me just sitting there, I mean, I think a lot of guys just think I'm just sitting on the couch or something, but that's furthest thing from the truth. I mean, I'm at like 240 now, so I mean, if they keep couching me, eventually I'm going to end up in 205 division. You know, like I'm just, and especially when I get little chirps from people, like it just makes me work that much harder in the gym. So,
Mhm.
uh, so it's just all motivating to me. You know, uh,
For sure.
I think at first I kind of was starting to get like a little pissed off about it, but I just kind of gave up on that, you know, like mindset, and I just was like, screw it, you know, I'll just focus on getting in good shape. I mean, when
Yeah.
they call me, and I'll be ready. I mean, I'm working on my slap, I'm working on the brace, I'm working on everything. So, you know,
Mhm. What is a
it's
guy?
not like
Yeah.
I'm just sitting around, you know, waiting. You know,
I hear you. What does a guy like you do? I mean, honestly, I almost feel like 240's probably the worst weight you could be in for the division. You know, you're 25 pounds away from the cap. You're 35 pounds too heavy to drop down. Like, is that just comfortable for where you are and you think you perform the best? Or do you feel like, you know, that you could kind of push that limit here a little bit and maybe try to get up to the, you know, the limit, you know, kind of where the champ Damien DeBella is around that 260, 265?
I mean, yeah, I could probably, you know, like I'm just trying to put on as much muscle right now, and you know, like I'm definitely doing that, but I'm also thinning up and, you know, losing a little bit of weight. So,
Yeah.
but at 240, I mean, I still hit like a horse, so it ain't really going to matter, you know. At
Mhm.
240, I'm just more mobile. I'm able to get a better swing, so it's not really, you know, I don't think it's that detrimental going to 240, but I mean, you
Mhm.
got Wes. Wes is doing it like 235 or 230 or whatever he is, you know. So
For
I
sure.
mean, I'm not worried about being at 240 and they calling me up for a heavyweight match. You know, I still don't
Absolutely.
think anybody's going to be able to take one from me
Mhm.
on the modifications that I've made to the slap and everything. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's not going to work out well for them.
absolutely, man. I'm glad to hear that you're working. I'm going to do a public service announcement for you. I'm going to put you front and center here. I'm going to take myself and Ding off. I want you to look right in that camera. I want you to talk to Erica, and I want you to tell her why you deserve a fighting power slap.
Erica, I deserve a fight in power slap. I went on the show, did what I was supposed to do, get 2 wins, and I respect you guys pick James, but that's the dude I want at this point. I get he's ranked at like 6 or something like that. I don't give a shit. Give me that dude. He thinks I'm just soft, and he doesn't even think I should probably do this. I don't know. But give me that dude so I can just knock him out and just very nicely show that, hey, you guys picked the wrong guy. You know, I should have been the guy you picked. Plain and simple. So let me just go up there and prove it. If he knocks me out, he knocks me out. But hey, don't think that's going to happen. Pretty sure I'm going to knock him out. So give me a match. Give me anyone really, but James is who I really want. Um, he has just pissed me off to the point. That's who I want. Give me James Sigmund, and hey, if he knocks me down, I'll just go down to 205, whatever. You know, he thinks he's the king of the division. Let's find out. So, so Erica, if you're listening, give me a shot.
Mm, I like it, man. That's a little fire. I've been told more than once that I'm bad cop on this show, so I'll embrace it. I won't fight it anymore. Um, I'm gonna rattle off a couple names of some other guys besides James Siegman, or as you say, James Sickman, because I enjoy hearing that. And I want you to tell me what you think about those guys and how you match up against them. I'll give you an easy one first. Pono Paul.
Pono Paul, that match will probably never happen. That's my brother. I'm not gonna go up there, and I don't think there's really a dollar amount that, you know, I would fight that dude. Um, I just can't see myself like going up there and hitting him. It just He's my brother, so that would be a hard pass on Pono Pao. So
Interesting. Okay. All right. I didn't expect that, but I respect it. Dorian Perez.
Dorian Perez, I would love to go up there and battle out with him. He's another guy that's got a lot to say, and I can't wait until the day that I'm standing across from him, because I think when I look in his eyes, I'm going to see it. He doesn't want to be up there with me. He thinks he does, and I get everyone's went up there and hit him and all that shit. It's not how I'm going to walk up there. Like, all due respect to my brother, I mean, he went up there, the kumbaya, and I'm bringing hell on that stage that day. Like, Dorian is the guy. You guys want to see a damn good fight? That's a damn, and it needs to be a 5-rounder. They need to start doing these like non-title, or if he even gets the belt, either or. But that's one of those, like, I don't want it to be 3 rounds. I want it to be 5, because I want to see. Let's find out.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you, Bryce. I don't hate that idea, man. 5-round fights, non-title for special occasions for 2 opponents that are game. I respect that. Wes Mena.
Wes Mena, I take on Wes Mena any day. I mean, the reality is, when they put him in the 10, he should have seen me. Plain and simple, he should have seen me. Instead, they just took me out and just placed him in, and he got the free ride into the top 10, you know. And to me, and kind of what I've heard, but, you know, that just really needs the match will happen one day, I think, but he's going to pay for not seeing me the first time, because I don't think he would even make it up to where he's at right now, to be honest. I think Pono said that in his interview, and to be honest, that's the truth. He would just now be hitting the top 10, possibly, you know, instead of be sitting at like 4 that he is.
Zakir.
Yeah, I'd take on that dude. I mean, he's got to learn how to slap. I mean, he's a good shot put artist. I'll say that. But as far as the slap, I didn't see no slap that day, and for them to rank him at 6 is kind of I think it's a little disrespectful to throw him all the way up to 6. I get he's got a social media following and all that, but I think he's going to be in a world of hurt when he gets up there with somebody that can actually crack him, because that dude he went against didn't really put nothing on him. I mean, that was a weak slap.
And last but not least, I'll end with Aaron Turner.
Aaron Turner, any day. Any day, I'd like to get up there with him. He's been very gracious and very nice to me. But on that day, he's going to see a different side of me. He'll probably still like me afterwards, but for those 15 minutes that we might be up on stage, he's probably going to hate me. Let's put it that way.
Well, it's good to see you, man. Can you talk to me about and last one before I let you go, the Don Fry thing? Because you actually are, you know, you kind of are resembling him facial hair wise. I thought you did well in the voice. Talk to me about that. What inspired you to do that? Do you know Don? And again, this comedic element to you, right? Is that sort of your way of trying to get in front of the right people in a respectful manner to get them to remember who Brice Jones is?
I've just always liked Don Fry. I've never met him. I feel like I might have seen him one time, just in like a passing moment, but never got to meet him. I'd love to meet him. I mean, dude's a legend. But I always liked his. He used to do like little breakdown cards, and those always made me laugh, because he would always just have some girl bring him drinks, and he'd just say some outlandish shit. So I always liked him, and I think I do a good Don Fry impression. So I was just like, screw it. I was just sitting there once again bored, and decided to throw it out there. But no, I mean, just doing the comedic stuff. I mean, I'm just having a good time. I'm just bored, and instead of just making the video and just saving it, I was just like, screw it. I'll just put it out there. You know, just have a good time with it.
All right, I'm gonna put you on the spot because you just said that. Can you do a Don Fry breakdown of you versus James Seekman?
Damn. Let's see. Well, old James Hickman there, that damn son of a bitch, he thinks he's real tough.
You're going to get up there with Brice Jones, and he's going to find out he ain't quite the man he thought he was.
It takes a minute to get that going, but the mustache helped. The mustache filter helped me get in the character. But
I gotta say, man, your facial hair is looking luscious, man. Looks real, full, and you got the right image for TV. So hopefully we see you back up there very, very soon. We don't know what very, very soon is, but you're a local Vegas guy. We know that they had you participate in the training camp. What in the world is that? That they had you, had you participate in the training camp 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So you ain't forgotten fully. It's just that's not like a public thing necessarily. So
yeah,
let's get you back up there.
I reached out to Erica on the training camp thing. I just asked her if I could just come in and help, and she hit me back and was like, "Yeah, you can come on in." And she was very nice. The camp was great. I mean, she did a good job putting it together. I'm sure the next one will be even better, and hopefully I get invited to that one too. I mean, I had a lot of fun, like helping and training guys, and I mean, I mostly kind of worked with like the super heavyweights. They were having a lot of issues with just moving their body. They're so big, and they're trying to throw everything they had, and they were stepping a lot and missing the target. So I kind of like with Zach and what was his name?
Cannon.
Yeah, Cannon. Those guys, I probably worked with them the most, actually. So, I look forward to hopefully seeing those guys up there at some point. But, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And hopefully on the next one I'm there again. And, I don't have the most experience, but I've been dedicating myself to this over the past year now. So, I mean, mechanically, I can definitely help some guys figure out some things that, when like the other guys are helping them, like the champs and stuff, I mean, they're trying to work with all these guys, and it's hard to like sit there and like pull someone aside and like start helping them, So I was just more in that kind of role. Just when I'd see somebody struggling, I just kind of pull them over, figure out what's going on. And it normally turned out pretty well. Everyone appreciated my help. So I definitely appreciate them letting me come and help. So.
Awesome, Brice. Appreciate that. I'm going to finish off one last one. You're going to keep this comedic bit going. I don't know if you've seen earlier, but we did This is Power Slap, of course. Fill in the blank. Yeah. I want you to fill it in for me, all right? This is Power Slap, of course.
Of course, I've seen John Cena win 17 times. I don't
know. All good, my man. I appreciate you, Brice. Much love, much respect. We'll see you there in Las Vegas real soon, dude.
Oh, yeah. I'll see you guys. You guys have a good one.
Take care. See you, my man. All right, ding. Wrapping up Brice Jones. I like this new Brice. You know what? I do. I hope we see more of him real soon. I like the comedic side of him. He's made all the right choices to move to Las Vegas, be there in the mix, as you said, to be able to take part in these training camps when you're local, when you're just down the street. You create opportunities for you. So, big up to him for, making the move years ago for MMA. However, now transitioning over into Power Slap and being a resource for other athletes to come into the sport, teach them along the way. And I hope we see him back real soon. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely, man. He had me going for a second there when he was saying James. I'm thinking he's saying Stonier. I'm like, you already beat James Stonier. What do you want to fight him for? Then it all clicked. My light bulbs turned on here.
For sure. Who do you think makes the most sense for him for a matchup at this particular moment?
It's not fair to him because he's kind of been passed over, but it's fair as far as getting him in there. I think Aaron Turner's a good entry point for him, 7, to get into the rankings, and then from there he can look at maybe 1 at max 2 top 5 guys, and he'll be at a championship.
Yeah, I actually think one guy just below Aaron Turner in the rankings, Brian Ellis, I think would be a great one for him, because I'd like to actually see is it could it be a get right match for Brian Ellis to be able to avenge that loss to Aaron Turner. We can see if he can come back, but then I also think it is a good matchup for Brice Jones as well, and to be able to pole vault himself up into these ranks as well. I think it solidifies a lot of things for both of those individuals at the bottom of the rankings in heavyweight, but can't argue with you on Aaron Turner either. So appreciate that insight. But let's keep on rolling, Ding. Who do we got up next?
I'm actually really excited. I don't want to fanboy out, but we don't talk to him very often. He's kind of, which makes him even more exclusive, very, very popular. I've got a lot of great questions to ask him. Is none other than the former welterweight champion. No love, Emanuel Muniz. What's up, brother? Good to talk to you, man.
Guys? How you guys
How are
doing?
you? How's it going? How are things?
It's going good. Just living life, working, doing my stuff. So just been enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, not a lot going on in the Power Slap world, but we haven't talked to you since it's been a while. You were at Power Slap 12, Mr. Highly Exclusive. I don't know how many people knew that, but you were over on the VIP side hanging out with the dope fit, right? I love the cowboy hat. There was something I want to ask you about that happened that night that I never got a chance to. You and Chris had a moment. I don't remember if I posted it, but you guys had a moment that was really respectful. I don't know that we ever knew that you guys were on good terms. We meaning the public. Where do you guys stand? Like, did you guys hash this out and kind of put it behind you, or you guys were really respectful in the after party?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the chapter's closed. I set out on a goal. I achieved it. I mean, there's nothing more to it at this point. There's nothing to beef about. I feel like it was settled in that sense. I know there's a possibility at some point in the future that we come around to that again. But right now, my eyes are forward and not really worried about that in like a competitive aspect. And when it came to that night, I was happy for him. I mean, obviously he went from being 5-0, being the champ, to being on a 2-fight losing streak. Both being knockouts. For him to be able to get right, get back again, and get back to doing what he was doing before that. So it was good for him. It was his night. I'm glad he did well. Glad he was able to enjoy it, and nothing bad for him.
Did anything like between him and Chris Debo? Did anything that happened between them, on stage? Did anything surprise you? Do you feel like he came, like you said, he was back in true form? Do you feel like Debo was bad that night? Like what do you think went on?
Yeah, it's funny actually. I thought those were probably two of Chris's cleaner slaps. I thought they were both pretty good. On the button, his feet were great. Um, but in terms of I was talking to Debo after the match, and it's funny because I felt that this happened to me as well in my match with him. Um, I mistimed it, and if you watch Debo when he gets slapped the second time, when he gets knocked out, you could tell he's not tensed all the way. He just didn't time it. Chris is fast. I mean, I think it's more that than anything, but it just the speed just kind of throws people off. It's hard to time sometimes.
Yeah, another interesting thing that took place in your division after all that unfolded was the debut of Azael Rodriguez at number 2 in your division. He had announced that he was going down, but didn't have anything booked. So it was surprising, I'll say, not that he doesn't deserve it, but it was surprising to see him debut at number 2. Obviously, you have history with him. He's calling for the shot against Anthony Blackburn right away. What are your thoughts on the prospect of him going up against Blackburn, and then also, of course, maybe the potential of you guys having a rematch at 70 instead of 85 this time?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously earned his stay. He's earned his way. Of course, at middleweight. And I think in most situations, in most cases, it would have been right for him to come down to 170. Show that he can make the weight and show off against another competitor at 170. But I think kind of just the position that the division's in currently, I can see him coming down and getting that title shot. He's earned it at middleweight. I don't have any like doubt that he'll make weight at welterweight. So I think it's an intriguing matchup. I think they're both tough. If I had to, that's a tough one to pull on. Who I think will come out. I think it comes down to a couple deciding factors, but I think it'll be a great match.
You've been up there with both guys going to decision twice with Anthony Blackburn going to decision with Azael in a 3-round fight. Do you think this ends in a finish? You don't have to say who you think would finish who, but do you think one of these guys get a finish?
I mean, I'll say this. I think Azael gets better as the rounds go on. He's very much like me. I don't know. After the first couple hits, he wakes back up or something. But I think the later it goes, I think the better it is for him. I think it'll be how well he is able to hold that chin up at 170 against someone like Blackburn. He's a little bit faster than some of the guys at 185. So I think if it's early, it's Blackburn. If it's later, it's Azael. I do kind of lean more towards it going to decision, but you never know in this sport.
Yeah, and I mean for yourself, is your future in Power Slap still at 170 pounds?
Yeah, I don't plan on doing a whole lot more. moving up to 185, I mean, I don't know. I don't really see myself doing that. I guess I'm getting big enough. I could probably do it, but I feel comfortable at 170. I would like to make another run at 170 and then probably call it a day after that.
Core?
No Love, great to talk to you again, as always, man. You've been one of those guys that have, been there from Road to the Title season 1 all the way through. You've been ambassador, through and through. We've seen you now, correct me if I'm wrong, record 5-3 or 5-4?
I think 5-4 technically, yeah.
Okay, so you're 5-4 now on Power Slap, 9 matches in. I mean, one of the, top 5 guys probably of the most matches in Power Slap. You said you're not sure, I mean, I don't want to mince your words, but what do you do next, or what do you do now? What is intriguing to you and inspiring for you? Because I mean, dude, like, in a lot of ways you've accomplished a lot in this sport, and like, what's getting you up there at the table again, and inspired to once again, exchange hands.
Yeah, I think, even before having the belt, after losing it, of course, like I tell everyone, I was confident in myself. I believed in myself well before I ever touched the belt, and I will be that confident in that never have that self-doubt ever long after. So, getting back up there, I think it's more of just an individual matchup in my mind. Like, I want to win this one. This is my opponent. This is who I signed up for. This is what I signed up for. I want to win this battle. I mean, long term, of course, there's goals, but really, I mean, it's just every match by every match. I want to go up there and I want to do something special this match, this time. So, of course, next time I get back up there, I do feel like I have a lot to prove. I mean, technically, I'm, on a 2-fight losing skid, however you see it, but I want to get back up there. I want to prove it. So I'm just really excited to get back up there and show the changes I made, show how hard I've been working.
Anyone in particular? I mean, we're looking out here. We've got obviously Azael, Jewel Scott, Cole Young. I mean, Chris Thomas rematch, Andrew Fields. Anybody there that you think would be enemy number 1?
I mean, no one in particular. I think more than anything, I know in the position I am, I probably have a few before I get back to a title. So I would like to start a little bit lower. I wouldn't mind starting a little bit lower, giving someone else, someone newer, a chance maybe to jump me. If that's what's gonna happen or not. But start lower and kind of work my way back up through the rankings a little bit again. Maybe someone at 5 or 6, somewhere on there. Work my way back up.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys don't say that. A lot of guys obviously want to fight up in the ranks and, continue to have that frontward trajectory. So, being in company, man, definitely goes a long way in this sport. Number 5, Chris Thomas. Number 6, Andrew Provost, who we haven't seen in a little while. Actually, even number 7, Waylon Frost. Guys that obviously well from, which seems like forever ago. I mean, I guess season 1 was coming up on 3 years now.
Yeah.
You think we'll ever see those guys? You think we'll ever see Jewel Scott, Provost, Frost? Will we see them back in Power Slap, or do you think that door is closed for them?
I mean, I know Frost was supposed to be on the season 3. He had some other things go on and something happened on the show, I believe. But I would hope so. I mean, I've talked about wanting the Provost match since before Chris. I just always thought that would be funny. He's always been an interesting person to me.
Yeah.
I'm definitely, for me, leaning towards who I want to face. Obviously, I want to face someone new to me. I'm not really so keen on rematches. I've done so many of them now at this point.
Yeah.
And I know there's only more of them in the future. So
Yeah.
I would like someone new, someone I haven't seen before.
Yeah. I mean, last week we had Tyler Gross, the Northernman, on our show. Not sure if you caught that episode or not, but what do you think of him and his game, in the welterweight division? Have you been able to watch his last match that he had against Sean Kilmartin?
Yeah. So we actually, we spoke before that. He, reached out to me about some advice, so I was able to actually break down his, some of his slaps on the show and, give him my advice, my 2 cents and so on and so forth. And, he went out there and he had an amazing performance against Kilmartin. It was a great slap, great form. His technique was really good. So he's someone like I'm excited about in the future. I mean, that's someone who hopefully can climb the rankings and show something.
For sure. What do you think his ceiling is?
I mean, Dude, it's so hard because I know I've gone through so many that I was like, oh, I'm so confident this person's gonna win or this person's gonna continue to blow through people, and then they get freaking slept all nasty, and I'm like, oh, never mind. I guess not. I guess not.
Too
The only people I've ever been real confident in haven't let me down has been DTP and Rob. So I'll stick to those two.
For sure, for sure. There's only one person that can answer this question. I'm going to bring it up from FAP. Do you have any update on where Jesus Gaspar is? Is he still alive and ticking?
I mean, I think he's still alive, but I don't think he's gonna be in Power Stop anytime soon. I know he had some. He was scheduled to go against Rob at some point, and I think he got pulled for some kind of PEDs or something. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I doubt he'll be back in Power Slap, to be honest.
Gotcha. Well, as long as you're not taking his dating advice, I think you're doing all right.
Yeah, we'll probably stay away from most advice he gives.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you joining me. Yeah, stay in touch, dude. And we wish you nothing but the best every single day. And we hope to see you up there entertaining the people once again.
For sure.
One last one. Let me get you before you go. Let's have a little bit of fun. So I know you've seen this 100 men versus one gorilla. We were saying they get 5 power slap strikers, 95 regular people. And one of them was you, DTP, the Crazy Hawaiian, Azael, and Waylon Frost. You tell me, with that squad and 95 other people, you beating a gorilla or what?
Look, me, DTP, and Crazy Hawaiian is that's a start right there. That's a hell of a start right there. I mean, Crazy, his big ass. I mean, well, he's getting slimmer now too. So I mean, he probably a little faster too. But and DTP, I mean, those are 2 of the toughest people I know. So I think I'm chilling right there with just those 2.
Awesome, man. That's I was interested to see what people thought. Like I said, AI has no faith. AI said you could put 100 strikers and you ain't winning. So definitely was a fun exercise. But like Corey said, great to talk to you, man. Hope to hear from you soon.
Sure.
And most importantly, hope to see you back up there when you're ready.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Take care.
There we go, Ding. Manny Muniz, great to talk to him once again. Looks like he's doing well. I mean, first time I interviewed him, he, was a guy that was working in a food truck, on the beach, poor Wi-Fi. Guy's come a long way now in Power Slap, obviously, and veteran. 9 fights in Power Slap. I'm not sure where that ranks in terms of most fights all time, but it's definitely got to be up there. I would say probably in the top handful of guys for sure. As you said, 5-4 coming off a 2-fight losing streak, definitely needs to be able to resurrect that if and when he gets back up there in one of those get right fights to prove that he deserves to be in that number 1 contending rank spot. We're talking to a guy, like I said, he's ranked number 1 contender overall. So, definitely they still believe the fact that he has, a lot of game left in his, in his career. Otherwise, they wouldn't be keeping him in that position even after those losses. And so, once again, we'll see Manny back hopefully relatively soon. Great character, obviously California kid, and entertaining every time we see him up in Power Slap. So,
yeah, what, his skill set and branding is definitely one to admire. Obviously, right, the pink hair, looking out in the crowd, seeing the pink hair. No, the whole no love thing, I really think has caught on for him, right? The logo with the heartbreak, like it. I connect all of that to him, and I don't know that there's an athlete in Power Slap who's done that better, where they've created these symbolic things, kind of like I'll call it like a Sean O'Malley, and I don't mean just the hair, but just that you associate certain things with a particular guy. Really, really interesting, and I think that he's nailed that down probably better than most people.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think he was one of the early trendsetters to kind of get on that and understand how important that is to create a brand. I know he had t-shirts on, he had his own like logo made up with a heart that had shoes and had the belt and everything else. So I think it's awesome to see that that legacy is continue to live on, that he still seems to have the fire burning inside of him to once again get back up there and keep on moving forward. So the comment, any news on 13 International Fight Week ? Ding, I'll let you take that one.
So, we don't know if that's going to be Power Slap 13. What we do know is that we expect, based on what's happened the last 2 years, we expect there to be an international fight week event. For UFC, it is the 28th, if I'm not mistaken. So I would expect the 27th, possibly the 25th or 26th. I mean, they've done Wednesdays before, but I don't see any reason why they wouldn't just do another Friday, because they usually do it right before the UFC event. So my mind tells me June 27th. Whether that would be 13, 14, I don't know. But we expect a International Fight Week card this year for sure.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they've done the grappling, they've done, they've done obviously the UFC Hall of Fame usually takes up a night that particular week, and then like we said, we've seen Power Slap there now 2 years consecutively in a row. Just checking right now on the UFC website, and at this particular moment, there's nothing that solidifies in regards to Power Slap, but I think it's fairly safe to say that we are going to get a Power Slap card. As you alluded to, usually it's one of the biggest cards of the year. I think it's, safe to say that we are going to get a ton of talent here. This is where they're going to bring some of those international fighters in. And one thing I don't think we really talked about, but Dumpling, being our first international champion out of, Serbia, Russia, wherever he's residing.
Siberia. Russia.
Yeah. I don't know. What do they call it? I guess
Siberia.
Siberia. All right.
Yeah,
Former
former Soviet Union. You go in that part?
Soviet Union. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. Trying to make me sound intelligent. Exactly. In a lot of ways is like, are we going to see him back in international soil or, in America? We've seen him once. We see their push to continue to go over to Riyadh, to go to Saudi Arabia, to go to Abu Dhabi. And, with him being the title holder, it would make a lot of sense that he's continued to be on those particular cards and, not necessarily making the trip all the way over here to America. But I do think International Fight Week is one of those unique opportunities where it's worth the expense with all the eyes to draw an international audience, with everything being on front and center in the fight world in Las Vegas. That's one of those rare opportunities that we get to see some of these international guys at the top really compete. So I think that's something that we should definitely be looking forward to when the announcement comes out. And because I don't know how often we're going to see Dumpling compete in America, honestly, going forward.
Yeah, I think he'll be the face of the international landscape for sure. I think, not that they wanted Hawaiians to lose or anything like that, but I think this was best case scenario. You need an international champion to sort of be that flag planter and get that side of the world interested in what we're doing. So I think it's important. Of course, Hawaiian utilized that moment and those losses, or that loss, to transition. So I think it all worked out.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly agree with you. But it's been different, I'll say. Usually we know the next fight before the previous fights finish. Usually there's an announcement either during the live broadcast, or we see it, on a UFC broadcast or something that weekend. And it's been kind of a dark spot, since Power Slap number 12, of not too much, new news. We haven't really even seen, new sponsorship announcements, or really any new news anywhere as it relates to Power Slap. So we do know that when it breaks, it will break fast. It'll break furious. So you want to make sure that you're subscribed, to us here at Slap News on YouTube, as well as on Instagram, because we keep bringing you guys a ton of great content, up-to-date content. And, as relatively new, our dedicated channel for the insiders, where we let you guys know first what is going on in the world of Power Slap. And we hope to have, more breaking news for you guys as it relates to who will be on that card relatively soon, the moment that it breaks. Blackburn Azael main event, Wolverine International Fight Week. Well, if you tuned into this show, you know that Wolverine announced that he is not done. He let us all know that he still has more in the tank. Seemed very intrigued and interested, and feels like Russell Rivera has done enough to earn his respect to be the next opponent that he sees up there at the table. Obviously, all that is unconfirmed at this particular time, but he does believe, obviously. I mean, it's confirmed from his mouth that he believes that Russell's done enough to earn that particular opportunity. So great to see. But one other guy who we talked about, Mr. Luke Simons, a guy that has gone up that light heavyweight rank and who's ascended. I think it's safe to say he's become a fan favorite. Wouldn't you agree, Ding?
Yeah, for sure. I think Luke Simons represents the working man. I think Luke Simons represents And I'll let him speak for himself here in a second. But I think Luke Simon represents. Luke didn't have the prime set of cards, and he'll be on here in a second, so you can tell me to fly a kite if I'm wrong. But Luke wasn't handed, a golden key. This guy had to work his way through everything, and like he said, he comes here to Power Slap, has to figure out can he do this thing, believes in himself, and then realizes he can do it. He can do it, excuse me. And then, three. I mean, again, it's just 3 ranked wins. How many guys that are sitting in the ranks right now have that? I mean, in any division, it's extremely rare. I'm actually surprised he's not higher up. I think he's earned a lot of respect.
I know. I think Luke Simon's more like that California kid, if you ask me, in some ways. I mean, like the Texas thing makes a whole lot of sense. That California quarterback, kind of long hair with the blonde hair, kind of leading the charge. I could see him kind of being that high school quarterback, that jock in school, a little more than the working man, I think. Because, last time I seen that, Luke Simon's got butter soft hands, my man. He's dropping guys, but I don't think he's working in an iron yard or welding or anything like that. But let's bring him in and see what he thinks. Does he represent the hardworking everyday American, or is he a little more style to him? The gym bro type of vibe, West Coast, Texas, whatever you want to call it. Luke, welcome to the show.
What up, guys? How y'all doing?
Great. How about yourself?
Good.
How would you describe yourself?
I mean, I was a hard-working country boy growing up, so but I do come off as a entertainer type of person. Just because I always wanted to be like a YouTuber since I was like 11 years old. So but I grew up doing landscaping because my dad had a landscaping company and he worked for Delta. So he did that. And then he would get off work and pick us up after school and we'd go help him cut grass. And then I worked forklift jobs, Waffle House, lots of stuff. So I mean, yeah, everything I always did was labor because I was like, I'm not gonna sit at a desk in a cubicle all day long. I can't do that.
All right, we got 1 for Ding, 1 for Ding, 0 for me.
Bro, that's like 100. We just haven't been keeping count. It's so good.
But this Waffle House thing, talk to me about that. What's the ultimate Waffle House meal that somebody could order?
What did I like? I would change it up every now and then. I made a pancake for somebody before on the grill. You're not really supposed to, but I did that.
Like, did you have like 100 pieces of bacon in it or anything fun?
No,
Come on, Luke.
I mean, there was stuff I liked, nothing crazy, I don't think. Oh, hash browns with pickles in it. So it's like a pickle chip.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get behind that, brother.
It's
Is
good.
that a secret menu item? Or I think you're crazy.
Yeah, because the only reason I tried it was because a customer got it all the time, and I had to do it for him once. So then I'm like, I gotta try this.
Awesome.
Corey, have you ever ate at a Waffle House?
I have, dude.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't think you would. Wow.
Why wouldn't I?
Would you? Because it's Waffle House, bro.
Breakfast, man. Just traditional American.
Oh, yeah, you ate breakfast at Waffle House? Yeah,
You're supposed to go there late at night at 3 a.m.
Yeah, so I'll tell you a story real quick. It's not about me, it's about you, but I'll tell you the story because you said that. I think it was my first year on active duty. I was in Beaufort, South Carolina, and I was staying at on base for Thanksgiving. I think I wanted Christmas to go home. So I stood for Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken. And I went to Waffle House and I sat there and at like, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night, ate a burger with a dude who was telling me about fishing and shit for Thanksgiving. So I ate Waffle House for Thanksgiving. That's my fun Waffle House story. But every time you eat at Waffle House, you are at increased risk for like acquiring some sort of disease. It's not exactly like a high level establishment, but I think I made it out all right.
Every Waffle House is different, but yeah, I mean, some can be gross and some can be super clean for sure.
Yeah, I saw that. Did you ever see the Waffle House fight happen probably in the last year or so?
I mean, I've seen a lot of videos of Waffle House fights. I'm
if
surprised.
you ain't fighting at Waffle House, I don't know what you're doing.
Nothing's happened when I was working.
Fab knows. Fab knows. Fab goes to Waffle House on Friday nights to watch the fights.
No one's ever started anything with me there, which I don't know if it's just nothing ever happened. I never worked overnight much. A little bit though.
That's awesome, my man. Talk to me. I see you working every day. You stream your workouts. You're incredibly active. You're somebody who's taking a different approach. I mean, one from a knowledge base, two from an education base, three from just being, one of the hardest working guys in the entire sport. Overall, how hard is it right now? I'm assuming you're not working. I'm sure that this is your sole focus
Yeah.
to
Well,
one day become a world champion. How hard is it to sit and wait?
I mean, it's hard. I mean, I wanted to be fighting at least like every other month, but God does things and stuff plays out certain ways for a reason. So I'm just trusting him. So I'm not worried about. I mean, I'm 4-0. It's not like I'm, worried about not getting a fight. I've done too much.
Absolutely. You keep on winning. They can't deny you those opportunities. What do you think's next for you? Who would be your prime candidate to go after?
I want Wolverine. I want the champ. I'm ready for the champ. Like, I don't know. I know I got more power than him. He's got good technique, but so do I. So I had a learning curve when I knocked Caesar out. I fought Allen, and I had to, I had to have that learning curve of figuring out my placement. And I did better against TJ, but then I got my placement down really good, and then just my form and my feet not coming up on Garrett. So everything's coming together, and I just keep getting better. So it's almost like if you just focus on the rotation, you don't have to worry about, I don't know, using too much leg drive. The rotation is key.
Yeah. I don't want to be the bad guy here, but the top of this division has been very much stacked for a very long time. I think the five of you guys at the top. Do you feel like there is a significant difference in talent from the top five of the division versus the bottom five? Because looking at it right now, you haven't fought anybody ahead of you yet in the ranks. And do you think that that's going to be, a monumental step, or do you think it's a modest step in competition up for you?
Well, you mean in the top five? Because Garrett was what ranked? He was ranked number 4.
Was he
and then-
4?
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
I fought him.
I just, I think it's kind of
But
foreseeable.
he was
that,
definitely better. He was definitely better than anyone I've faced before because
yeah.
he hit me
Well,
like good.
let me reword it for you then. Vern
Mm.
Cathy, Russell Rivero, Austin Turpin, Wolverine. Do you think those guys, are they significantly better than Garrett, or do you think it's moderately better?
I think Garrett actually is probably one of the better ones, honestly.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting take.
Why do you say that?
Just because his build, he's 6'2", he's got a fast and accurate strike, and he's young. He's 24 years old, and so he's just going to keep working out and getting bigger and stronger with that frame. So it's not like I'm not going to see him again as long as he, takes another fight. I know he was complaining about the money, but you got to win.
You said it, not us.
I was gonna say, are you complaining about the money? You seem to be doing all right.
No. I mean, I want more still. I mean, I had a lot of debt and stuff I had to fix. So, I mean, I'm not perfect, so but I
You're
feel
taking
like
your own advice, man. You're winning.
what? It cut out.
No, I said you're taking your own advice. You're winning.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's either I don't want to get knocked out, so I might as well win. Knock them out, get the money.
So are you saying you won't flinch 3 times in round 1 ever again? Like that's not a good way to play
No,
Russian roulette?
I might flinch just because, who knows?
Is that a new tactic?
Luke's cake, bro.
I mean, if they know you're gonna sit still, then they know where you're gonna be. So if I might flinch, then I'm gonna knock them out no matter what. So once I feel the power once, I'll take it again and then knock them out. It don't matter.
Between that and the front hand, backhand double slap we saw on Bob, you're unstoppable, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it feels that way, but I'm trying to stay humble and I'm just trying to make sure I put in the work so that I mean, I see everyone above me, and I don't see anyone with more knockout power than me. Like from my highlights, I feel like my highlights are more impressive than a lot of the other guys, but I still gotta respect them and know that some people they might not have as good of a strike as me, but the chin and fighting clean, that can win you fights. So I really gotta step it up for those 5 round fights in the future.
Mhm. In a sport that's, in a lot of ways solo or isolated, I mean, there's not a lot of coaches, there's not a lot
hmm
of, team mentality per se. I mean, you're training by yourself. How do you judge that you're doing enough every day?
Uh, I mean, I know myself, and I know what I can do. I mean, today I ran 5.5 miles, just like it's nothing. That's just casual for me. Um, I mean, and then I do more physical activity so that when you're on a power slap stage, you're not gonna get tired, even if you're not in great shape. You could be in decent shape and be fine up there. But I go above and beyond and make sure I hit the weights, I slap the bob, and I run so that when I'm on the stage, that there's no excuse for being out of shape. Like being in shape and cardio wise, it helps your explosiveness. It helps you take hits and recover faster because the more your nervous system is used to, you know, recovering, you're
Mhm.
you're gonna be able to, recover quicker after you get hit and your nervous system gets frazzled.
Absolutely. Do you think a little time away could actually be good for you right now? Take a little bit of time off just to kind of recover from, like you said,
Mm,
you've been fairly active.
a
Do you
little
think it
bit.
long term might be better for your career and the longevity of it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel ready. A little bit of time off was good, but I didn't want to wait more than like 2 months. I feel like I'm prime, but I'm still have more. I'm going into my prime. I feel like so. I don't know. I want to be fighting. I don't feel like my brain or anything needs that much time to recover right now. I feel like I'm ready to go.
Were
Awesome,
you
man. Dang.
were you surprised that Wolverine, exited retirement so quickly?
No. What? He's 38. Is that how old he is right now? I mean, is that
Uh, I see 33 on the
33?
website. Yeah.
No way. But I don't know. He seems older. I thought he was
Hey,
38.
I made that mistake too, so don't worry, buddy. You're not alone.
33. I don't know. But he does seem like he's older. Like redheads too, I feel like age a little bit quicker. So who knows his prime part? You could tell too.
Is that
If you,
factually?
I mean, from observing, I've seen his older fights, and he looked a little bit more plump and fuller and just like youthful. Now he's starting to wither a little bit. I mean, it's just true from what I've seen. His technique is still there, but
Bro, I don't know
I,
if
he's a
anyone's ever
legend.
referred to Rob Bate as plump.
No, no, but it's very subtle that you could tell, but like I don't know, not plump, but you can see
Nah, you
some
cannot do
fullness.
it now, bro. That was too good. I love it. We'll stick with plump. Next time I talk to him, I'm gonna have to ask him.
No,
That was so good. Thank you, Luke. You the man. I know Russell Rivera was on your radar. Right after the Blakesley fight, is he still kind of the guy? If you look at that top four between, obviously you want the belt, but we don't know what Wolverine's timeline looks like for coming back. Russell hasn't competed in a while. Vern is up there, but he competed in January and it didn't go his way. So I don't know if you want a guy who's coming up a loss, even though he is sitting at number one. Austin Turnbull, we have no idea what's going to happen with him. We know, since October, there's 3 scheduled fights that have been sort of canceled. So we don't know what his status is. But is Russell kind of the guy that you feel like you have your eye on?
I mean, I have my eye on everybody. I want whoever's above me, I'll take one of those fights for sure. But I want, y'all know I want the champion, and I feel like I can knock every single one of them out. Like Russell, to me, he is one of the more jacked guys. So I mean, he seems one of the harder opponents, and he is hard for sure. But I met him in person. He didn't strike me as intimidating in person as much. So I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm putting in more time than he is at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the top of the division, I think it's fair to say Murderers Row. I just think everybody's got a different pathway. Like I said, I mean, Turpin was the guy, right? Then he got kind of disappears. Russell is the guy, but he had the checkered past with the fouls and kind of like the disqualifications. Vern Cathy seemed to be on the up and up, and then he gets brutally knocked out by Ron. And then Ron has been counted out I don't know how many times, and he just keeps on doing it at 205. So I do think I agree with Corey's assessment that the top 5 of that division in particular, from you to the champion, meaning not 1 to 5, but from the champion to 4, those 5 people, I think is absolutely Murderers Row, and I think there's probably a significant skill set gap starting, right after you. I know you and Allen kind of joke around. Logan Greenhall's in your division now. Like, I know you don't want to fight backwards, but Logan's another guy that's kind of like a gym rat, right? Buff. And I know you were kind of into the what do you call it? The buff dude versus the buff dude, right?
Yeah.
So if for whatever reason they're like, hey, Logan, like you either got to prove that you're real and stop this guy at 205, or he's going to be the victor and prove that he's real at 205. Would you be interested in that?
It was kind of cutting out a little bit, but I feel like he definitely needs another win, and for me to face him, I feel like I would need a loss. So, he has good placement. I'll say that. I was impressed with him knowing where to place his hand, but I wasn't impressed with his form and everything necessarily. So, like when he was heavier at a heavyweight, I didn't think he had a good slap. Watching back his fights. So I'm not really worried about him, but I do know he's hungry and he wants to fight me, and he's getting better. So, like, I mean, I made adjustments and got way better each fight. So, I mean, he can do the same. So he's on the radar as like, he might be coming up soon.
Is that
Corey,
the
what's
Pump
that?
Wolverine?
I was just gonna ask, is that the Plump Wolverine?
The what?
The Plump Wolverine. Can you see that?
Oh yeah. He's definitely fuller right there in the cheeks. Look at his cheeks there, and then look at his cheeks now.
No.
Well, that guy looks like Daenerys Targaryen, the other guy. For anybody who gets that reference, but yeah, I mean, I just think he's got a bigger wad of dip in or something. I don't know if he's, like I said, I'll have to ask him, man, because that's a good one. I don't know if he's ever been referred to as plump, and if he hasn't, we're gonna have to tell Mrs. Sarah that she needs to start calling him plump Wolverine.
Yeah. I don't mean plump as in like super plump, but like just like I don't know,
Bro,
more full and explosive.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about his prospect? I mean, we talked to him about this, and I had said, it's hard to top the way that he was purported to go out at that time. Like, do you think he's gonna end up regretting this decision, being that the guys that are chomping at his bit are what I called a minute ago Murderers Row?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like he have to fight though if he still has 2 fights left on his contract. I don't know if they make
No,
him
if you retire, if you retire, you retire. Like your contract stays there. So if you want to do anything, like for example, I don't want to get into your guys' contract specifically, but I'll speak about the UFC. Their contracts are sort of non-compete. Like they need to clear anything that they want to go do with another, organization, even if it's not MMA, if it's just combat. So if they're retired and they still have fights on their contract, that means that they just need to clear anything that they want to do, even if they're not competing in MMA anymore. Their contract still stands. So I would assume it'd be not exactly the same for Power Side, being that you guys are kind of classified a little differently, but I would imagine it would be like you're definitely not going to be able to go slap for somebody else.
Yeah. Well, I guess so. He retired, but he wants to stay because I don't know. Everyone wants him.
Yeah, I don't know if he said why he wants to stay specifically, other than that.
Yeah.
He just felt like it wasn't the right move for him at the time. But again, I mean, like I said, I don't know that there's a better way to go out, man. I mean, he could have not got hit. That's it. He could have just got the coin toss and made it one and done.
Yeah,
but
to me, like
that was beautiful.
When y'all did the slap news last time, it seemed like he was trying to say I earned a shot for number 1 contender, but I don't know, not giving me enough credit to where I could face him. And I'm like, it seemed like he was kind of running from the fight with me, and he might be hoping I lose before I get to him. I mean, I just feel like he's gonna fight 2 more times, and you know, I'm gonna get to him after I win my next fight. I mean, I gotta have a title shot. I really.
All right, I need a moment of honesty here because I feel like you and I have a great relationship, right? We've talked since day one. I need you to be straight up honest. So you're saying Wolverine sat up here and he said he wants to fight Russell Rivero, right? That he thinks that's who makes the most sense. You're saying you think that if he wants to take that guy on, that he's ducking you when you guys look
Yeah.
kind of similar?
Nah, we me and Russell don't look similar. They
No,
do.
build wise.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like you guys have. I mean, there's realistically, if you look at through all the rankings, there's not that many. I'll use your term. Jack dudes. There's not that many. Like most guys, kind of look pretty regular, right? In shape, they might have abs, whatever, but there's not really guys that really you could see like they're just built. You guys go to the gym, it's clear. There's a couple of you guys in your division now. There's 2 big ones, you and Russell. So you're saying if he's coming on record saying I think Russell's next, you think that he's ducking you, but he's
I
willing to
mean,
take on Russell?
I don't think Russell's as much of a threat as I am. I'm taller. I'm. I mean, we're all the same weight when we get good on stage, but I'll feel out when I get up there, and I'm young. So I mean, I'm 28. I don't know. I just he's seen my highlights. I mean, I feel like even when I went against Garrett Blakesley, he was nervous because I mean, you can't see my highlights and not be nervous. So I don't know. It feels like though he was kind of ducking me. Yeah, to be honest.
That's fair. I just wanted to clarify. That's all.
Yeah. Before I let you go, Luke, a little quick here. I'll say breaking since we've come on air here, but less than an hour ago, a guy we were talking about, Russell Rivero, took to social and said some comments here. I mean, you can kind of see the resemblance. I mean, things not too far off, I think. But let's look at the caption and see what he said. We go all in all day, and I hope I'm not getting you in trouble for anything here. So don't put yourself on the line if there's something here I don't know. I'm not trying to set you up. No hesitation. Stay tuned for June. What do you think of that, Luke?
I mean, maybe he's got a fight. Who knows?
Maybe it's you. Maybe it's somebody else. Well, I guess we'll have to stay tuned to find out.
We will. But yeah, I'm not worried about anybody above me. I'm gonna knock them all out. I mean, I
Love
don't.
it, my man.
I don't know. The training I've done. I just have so much confidence in how I connect with the muscle and just all that. So when I put in the time and the effort, and I don't. I could train with somebody else and they could do the exact same workout as me, but I could get what they get out of 4 sets done in 1 set. So like, I just feel like I don't know. I got a lot of confidence because of that.
So will you be disappointed if you ever go to a decision? Like, do you feel like that's unfulfilling?
Yeah, it's always disappointing. When I beat Allen in decision, I was disappointed I didn't knock him out because I was not even worried about him when he was hitting me. I didn't feel scared at all to get knocked out. Yeah, when you win decision, it doesn't feel like as much of a win. But that too, that was my second fight, and I've learned a lot of things since then. So
Yeah, is that when you called them a pussy?
yeah, the last hit, because like I was like for sure I was gonna knock him out every single round, and I'm just like, all right, well if he hits me a 3rd time and I've been eating it the whole time, I'm just gonna say he hits like a pussy because he was hitting like a pussy in my mind the whole time. So I'm like, let the judges know.
Talk to me about your hat. Are you taking a page out of the book of some of those who have been kind of before you with the branding, right?
Uh,
Lethal, obviously that's part of your nickname.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just taking a page out of the book of everybody that's on social media who, you start to get more of a following and you put some merch out there. So, and I like to wear, and this is a new hat. we're coming out with, and it's not out yet, but it's super close. It could be released any day now. And there's another hat that I'm not gonna show y'all yet, but it's more low key.
Why not, man? Come on, slap news, buddy. Come on, let's give us some. You got it close by. Come on, man. Come on. We need a little more.
Look, if you don't show it here, you're gonna end up showing it somewhere else. I don't know if that's gonna be worth your while. You know, I'm just saying. I'm not trying to brag or anything.
Let's get it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's
go mobile. Push a little bit and we get it. That's it.
Attaboy, Luke.
I mean, the only reason I was gonna show y'all, but my girlfriend's like, "Don't show anybody yet, whatever." I'm like, the more.
I mean, it's just us in here.
Hey, look at that.
Anyway,
look
man.
at that. Hey, you missed it, Ding. There, I like that.
I like
one.
it. Yeah, I like it.
I like it.
Looks like you got a buyer in.
Yeah.
Matthew 19:26, the Bible verse.
What does that Bible verse say? I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm assuming you know what it says.
Jesus said to the disciples, "With men this isn't possible, but with God all things are possible."
I love it. There you go. I think that context is important.
Yes.
Yeah. How far is the garage from you right now? Can we see a couple strikes?
I mean, yeah. It's
bro, you're pushing it. Why you showing us that? Why you messing with him, bro?
Yeah, y'all.
Dude, come on, man. This is Slap News first. Come on.
We gotta make a show.
Yeah. I mean, you want Nate Bernard outside of the freaking dispensary. I'm gonna get Luke giving us some slaps. Come on. What's up, Nate? I know you're in the comments somewhere.
Show up the best I can.
Yeah. I tell you, buddy, tripod, $15 on Amazon.
I have one.
Okay.
I'm a pro at setting the phone up against something, though.
All right.
Been doing that before I had some money.
All right, show us what it looks like to be plump. Are you gonna wear those slides on stage next time? I must know.
No, definitely not.
Listen, no movement with slides is impressive. I gotta tell you.
Oh yeah, y'all can see my feet.
Yeah. We saw a whole full body, the plump and everything.
Awesome, Luke. We appreciate you, my man.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Always good talking to you, brother. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, see y'all.
All right, man. Cheers.
Thank you. There we go, Ding.
Oh, he wanted the front hand backhand. Fab wanted the front hand backhand. That was a good call, Fab. Damn it, we missed it.
Yeah.
We were expecting Angel Merrill, but I think something happened. So we'll try to get him on not next week because we got something special coming next week. I'm not gonna tell you what it is because that'll make it even more special. But would you agree, Corey? We got something pretty special coming up next week.
100%. Yeah, we'll bring you next week's show. You'll definitely want to tune into that. Still going to take place same time as our mainstay Wednesday nights for all of your slap favorite news. But we're going to bring it to you guys. We maybe a little different format in a sense. Me and Ding might we'll see.
Easy Tiger. Easy Tiger. Come on, it's gonna be too good.
I say too much most of the time, so Ding's got to come in.
You can't tell him. Well, you guys will know. You guys will know as the days go on. Don't worry.
100%, you will. Other than that, like you said, Angel Merrill, too bad we couldn't get him on board. What else is kind of kicking right now that kind of makes a little bit of sense? Who's disappeared off the face of the earth? And maybe I'm wrong, but California kid that went to Korea. Has he surfaced of being alive? Radalave.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's alive?
Yeah, he's done a what is that called? Proof of life. He's done that, yeah.
A proof of life?
Yeah, like when
wellness check or
no, it's like when when you have a hostage and you're asking for whoever owns that person or whoever cares about that person, you're asking them for money and they're like, hey, I need a proof of life. Before I give you money, I need to make sure they're alive. Rod has done that.
He has? To you personally or
to Instagram?
Okay. Gotcha. There's a guy that disappeared. I thought he was almost going to Jesus Gaspar territory for a second.
Do you miss him? Is that what it is?
Rod? Rod's a good guy, man.
You can be honest.
Yeah, Rod's a good guy. Rod's a good guy, dude. I got nothing wrong.
You liked Rod right away. I remember you liked it because of the
100%. I did.
The cigarette and the two fucking whatever it was.
Yeah,
240s or whatever.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a interesting branding perspective, but it was uniquely.
It worked. It worked. The guy's he got flown to Saudi Arabia for a fight. I mean, it worked.
It wasn't even televised.
Yeah,
so
100%. And he got a ranked guy. I mean, Cole's always been up there.
Absolutely. What do you make of these fights that keep on coming out here? Kind of weekly fights that Power Slap's dropping. Do we think that's the right format? For releasing some of these undercard fights. What's your initial take?
Oh, you're trying to get me in trouble. I see.
No. I'm just trying to kill some time here.
I think most of them last time were explosive and entertaining, and they made their way to social media anyway. At the same time, I think there was still a desire to see them in their totality, which is interesting for me. I didn't expect that to be the case, so it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Like this, this was on social media, like the dancing and all that. But even when it came out, 93,000 views for something that, you would think nobody would care about, being that they've seen it already. It's pretty impressive.
100%.
But Angel's still doing that thing, and I would love to talk to him. He's still doing that kind of movement thing where he kind of flinches. He more so moves every time they wind up, which is even more unusual. He was to his plan was to come on here today and actually explain why he does that and kind of how he's going to correct it. But we'll talk to him probably in 2 weeks. Like I said, next week doesn't seem like it's going to be able to work out. But yeah.
It's interesting to see the wind up on Hunter Hassan and how he's got his right hand cocked very close to his body. It's almost like a mix between like a Dwayne Crespo and Austin Turpin type of swing kind of going on. One that we haven't kind of seen a hybrid mix of it. Hunter, I will say when I seen him in person, to be honest with you, he's actually bigger in person than I thought he was. For a lot broader shoulders to him. Definitely you could tell he's one of those kind of labor type of guys. Hardworking cats. And he was definitely more intimidating, I think, in a lot of ways. But a lot of respect actually to Angel Merrill because throughout this entire match, like just like that strike, everyone he hit him on the button incredibly hard.
Yeah, he's got a cannon on him, man. And I'll be honest with you, for Hunter, I think he did the dancing thing because he looked like that shot didn't feel good. He leaned up against the podium, took a backward step,
sure.
His body language didn't exactly match the dancing. I think the dancing was his effort to try and get more leeway with the judges, and hopefully not spark a count by the great Mark Smith.
Yeah, that might have been a step there. I'm just watching real. But regardless, I think technically on the upper side of Angel Merrill, one of the most technically sound guys I think we see, to be able to replicate and duplicate a strike, for all 3 rounds, he delivered pretty well the same. I was watching the foot because they are allowed to lift their heel after contact. So we just have to watch back exactly when that contact was made to be able to see. But you see Angel kind of shaking a bit there, as you kind of alluded to. In this particular match.
Yeah, he kind of turns his body forward, which is weird because that's not. That would be rolling with the strike, but he's moving his shoulder. I think that's the tell. Is I can see your shoulder cocking, so I know you're moving.
Yeah,
you'll see it here. Look, you see it?
Yeah,
it was subtle. It was subtle. But he does it on the windup. That's what gets me. It's like this. I don't know if he forgets what number they said because he's so locked in, but he does it on the windup. It's interesting.
Yeah. Good chin on him though, man. Hunter's throwing him down too in this particular match. So
I like Hunter. He's got Brandon down to a science too. The haircut with the big old beard. The big old mustache. Excuse me. I don't even.
Do you think that what does that resonate with? Or who does that resonate with?
I don't know if this is the answer you're looking for, but hillbillies.
Okay. No, I just actually, you notice Angel Merrill go very wide stance, duck feet out type of thing. I wonder if that's one of the things he's utilizing to try to avoid a stepping foul.
Yeah, he's throwing some good shots, man. And I think
100%,
that's probably
yeah.
why he got brought back, because he's got a whack on him. He's just got to
Yeah.
fix up the defense.
Mhm.
And Angel has like a texture to his face. I don't know if it's acne scars or what, but I think that also kind of leads to some of that burger patty kind of look, that raw meat look that he gets afterwards. I don't think that helps him either. Like, oh, there was a stepping foul. Wow, that's interesting.
In
I
round
didn't think they
2.
were calling stepping fouls.
But do you see how wide his feet are?
Okay, that was a stepping foul. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. All right. Okay. Agreed.
Yeah.
Good job.
The entire foot off on that one.
Holy shit. That's
Yeah.
impressive. All right. That's like throwing a baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got to lock that in.
So maybe that wide step didn't help him in that particular situation.
No, because then you lose your base. I mean, I'm not going to be the guy that's never competed and is telling people how to do it. So don't take my advice for anything, but I just would assume mechanically you have no base. You're too wide. You're losing control of all of those, pieces of your body as they coexist.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely interesting matchup here. Like I said, I mean, Angel, like you said, if he can clean that up, definitely has the opportunity, because he doesn't seem phased here. Like, the defense that he takes when he gets there up the table is, a little bit different from, how he is. I mean, even after he receives the strike, he doesn't seem like he's out of control in any particular way or in any danger, wobbled whatsoever here in these first 2 rounds.
Yeah, he looks like he's having fun. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's doing the whole Hulk Hogan thing. I like it.
With Hunter, yeah. Fellow New Jersey guy. Actually, you can see the blood coming out of Hunter's face now.
Yeah, his face didn't look so good either. He's got the why so serious thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
It was good to see Forrest back. We hadn't seen Forrest in a little while.
Yeah.
Jay Nova sitting back there ready.
Yeah. Like you said, they see the flinch on the second windup even. Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing that on the show too. I thought it was interesting, but I know he talked about it being like the boxing background.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand why it happens on the windup. So yeah, so then he gets the flinch. Smith is like, cut it out, bro. Stop doing it.
Yeah. So there's the second one here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you actually see Hunter try to readjust too, actually. So,
Oh, this was the one where they yelled stop in the middle of it. Because Angel moved on the second windup. I actually think that was a bad call. First things first, these guys are moving so quickly, you ain't stopping it mid swing. Second, I mean, he flinched on the second movement, not the third. I don't know if I would give him that.
Yeah.
But look, Mark Smith does not look happy.
I think Mark Smith tried to catch his arm too, but it just happened so fast. It's almost not possible to do.
Bro,
so.
That would be like a Hall of Fame move if you can catch this guy's arm while he's about to strike.
But he tried to, man. I don't remember that live. Like,
terrible idea.
I mean, Mark's close enough. Like, you know what I mean? You just throw that out there.
Yeah, just look at him though. He's just so locked in. Look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angel eats those well, man.
Yeah.
Oh, did he get another point? Or is this the point for flinching? Oh, yeah, this was. So he got the second flinch. I don't know if I saw a flinch on that one. Oh, yeah, he tilted his head ever so slightly. And then the shoulder came up.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's funny. I mean, we've talked, I don't know how much this is public, but like, there's definitely some guys that I don't know if you can see on the there's some guys that talk
that's
publicly.
Me.
Yeah, I was gonna say there you are.
Oh, I'm on TV. That's me. Yay.
Too funny. There's been a talk a little bit about some flinching, how it could give you an advantage over the other. We see some guys flinch away, some guys flinch into it, some guys flinch forward into the table, some guys flinch back or try to lean back a bit to try to, I guess in some ways not take the brunt of the blow to the chin. I think there's a bigger conversation to be had there because, different people look at it different ways.
That was a questionable heel lift on Hunter.
Yeah, he's taking some damage now, man. But what a warrior though, dude.
The raw burger meat, man. That's what his face looks like.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, but again, I think it's just you gotta avoid taking those additional shots. It's important.
100%.
Even there, I think you could argue movement again.
Yeah.
You just gotta stop moving.
Mhm.
Man, look how much his face shifts. That's wild. Hunter's powerful, man. He's a sleeper. I'd be watching out
Yeah.
for that kid. Number 10 at middleweight. I'd be keeping an eye on him. He seems like to be the sleeper because he's a nice guy. He's got a
Mhm.
whack on him. And like you said, he's a bigger cat than you might expect.
Mhm.
Imagine a Hunter versus like a Brandon Rhodes. Let me stop doing Power Slap's job for him here. God, his face is mangled. Oh, interesting strategy. He's doing the hold the ref thing.
Mhm.
He thought about dancing and he's like, nah, fuck it, I'm winning anyway.
Oh, it's too funny, man.
A lot of personality. There's the non-plump Wolverine.
Yeah. The withered, what do you call it? The raisin Wolverine.
Gingers from
Yeah.
Arkansas, they raise like fine raisins.
Exactly. All right, Ding. Anything else you want to cover before we head out here?
No, just look out for next week, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be quite the interesting prospect. Not necessarily. I mean, what we're gonna do is the same thing we do. We're gonna talk to some people. The venue might be a little different. The format might be a little different, but I think the fallout is what you're really gonna want to look out for. The questions that are gonna be raised is really where you should lie your head.
Mhm.
So I'm excited.
Awesome, man. Anything else? Is there going to be a championship belt involved or anything?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It might involve a championship belt or two or three.
All right. Well, that'll be the cliffhanger for the end. All right, guys, we're out. The show is over, my man.
Participate on Instagram. Participate. 100 men, 5 power stop strikers, 95 people, 1 gorilla. Who's gonna win, and what team are you bringing to make sure that you beat the fuck out of that gorilla? This is power stop. Of course, I'll do my own. This is my work of art. I felt like this was edgy enough, but not too edgy. Of course, I tag Dana, Frank, and Erica in everything that I post. Another one I'll do real quick as an example. Yeah. This is Power Slap. Of course, I've never fought, and I'm calling out the champion. You're welcome. Go participate. It's fun. It's funny, and it's how we keep Power Slap on the map.
100%. All right, Ding. Until next time. Tune in next week. Same place, same time. 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock in the East on Wednesday. Take care.